Another episode of Marketing Tip Tea Time at 222. I am one of your hosts, Aaron Zimola. This is Peter Romero, who helped us set up all of the things you see now, and Phil Van Drunen is up in our brain of the whole operation upstairs. He's working on the computer to make sure this goes flawlessly. And here with me, duplicated. So do I just keep going? Okay, so Phil's working really hard to make sure that our audio is working well. But here with me today, all the way from, drumroll please, Houston, Texas, is my man, Joshua French.
And your fellow ginger bearded co-host of your favorite show, Marketing Tip Tea Time.
I don't know if you can see it, anybody on this here, but I actually have some red hairs in my mustache and beard. How close do I need to get?
Aaron is turning into a ginger. It's confirmed.
It's happening. Oh man, look. Oh man, my face looks really, really terrifying up close. Well, Josh, how's it going? How's Houston treating you? He's here. We are patching him in from his hotel room in Houston, Texas, right now.
Yep. I mean, it's going good right now. Everything's going smooth. Okay. But you know what, Aaron? The important thing is that my hotel has tea. And let me show you exactly what I'm drinking today. It's English Tea Time from Bigelow.
Oh, wow.
One of my personal favorites from Bigelow, actually.
Perfect. Yeah, so I like Bigelow as well.
I thought I, of course, had to go for it. So
I haven't actually poured my tea yet. I know that you went down to the lobby to do that, but I have the kettle here because I'm in the studio. And I have Earl Grey as well. I don't know if the audience can see. Right there. Yep. And so this is Earl Grey. And I am really super excited to try it. So I have my tea. I have my Google Partners cup. And you didn't pack that on the flight, Josh? You didn't pack your Partners cup on the flight?
I was too afraid I was going to break it, actually, so I didn't bring it with me.
I have the kettle. Should I do it over? So the laptop and myself is under this kettle right now. I'm not going to do it. That's too dangerous. I'm going to pour it off to the side.
Give the audience some entertainment, Aaron.
No. Well, I mean, that'd be super entertaining, but might hurt a little bit. So they get to watch. They get to watch me like go off to the side and pour. All right. So today, everyone.
Yes.
Today we're going to be talking about something we've never talked about before, but we've mentioned it quite a bit, and I'm sure a lot of people have a lot of questions about this, and that is Google Ad Grants. Josh, what are Google Ad Grants like?
Yeah, so Google Ad Grants, super cool topic, because if you're a qualifying nonprofit, you can get up to $10,000 a month of free advertising from Google.
That sounds like money.
On their Google search ads. $10,000 a month.
Wow.
For free. Yeah.
For free?
For free. That's right.
Oh, wow.
$10,000.
And so that, wow. And that's
it actually used to be $30,000 a month, Aaron.
Yeah, I know. But people weren't actually spending that much money, so Google is lame and put it down to 10, but it's okay.
It is hard to spend that much given the parameters, which we'll talk about as we move along through this topic, because there are certain guidelines you have to stick to. If there weren't, it'd be very easy to spend $10,000 on Google.
Right, exactly.
There's plenty of ways to spend that kind of money.
There's a lot of stuff you need to be doing.
So this ad grant is just for Google search for nonprofits. So it doesn't include Google Display. We've talked a little bit about, actually quite extensively about both platforms in the past on our tea times. But just to run through that again real quick, Google search is, if you were to do a search through Google and ads pop up that are text ads, that would be included in the Google search network, whereas display includes graphics that show up on websites or maybe like on YouTube, right? That would be through the display network. So it's just through Google search for this ad grant.
Right. And that is a really important thing to note, is that it's just that, and it's also only for 501 nonprofits. You can't be a for-profit company and take advantage of this. This is exclusively for nonprofits. Think charity organizations. And actually, there's a number of things or types of organizations that aren't allowed, right?
Plenty.
Yeah.
Plenty of different
so, if you're a government organization, sorry, Google doesn't give you any money. If you're backed by taxes, you don't get any of Google's ad grants.
Nope. You have to miss out. If you are, let's see, hospitals are exempt. Medical groups are exempt. Schools,
can't be a hospital. Yeah, schools
also exempt. Any academic institutions, universities, all of those are not eligible for the grant.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And and the reason is primarily because of tax money. If you have any tax money that comes to you that's like regular, so your government organization or your school, they just don't really think you need the money. So that's the way Google rolls.
That's just the way they roll. Got to play by the rules, right?
That's just what they do.
Speaking of more rules for qualifying for the ad grant, a big one is having a high quality website.
Yeah, you can't have a piece of crap.
You can't have, exactly. So, and what does that mean, high quality website? Well, a few things. So one, you have to own the domain for the site, own the website.
Right.
Have the main purpose of the website can't be for commercial activity.
Right. You can't sell anything on it, basically.
Right.
Cars.
That can't be the main purpose of the site. You can have things you sell on the site, like one of our nonprofit ad grant clients has memberships you can purchase through the site.
Right.
So, but it's not the main purpose. Is how they qualify that, basically.
Right.
So It can't be the main purpose. That ads have to be very limited on the site. Can't have ads all over the place, because Google then perceives that as you're just driving traffic to your site to get ad revenue from all the ads.
Exactly. And in addition to that, Google really doesn't like pop-ups. So, and that actually isn't just an ad grants thing. That is a Google thing. If you're running Google ads to any website and you have those pop-ups that come up, Google doesn't like that. It's actually going to show your ads less because of the quality of your site. And also, pop-ups are just annoying and really bad, and users don't like them. I don't know why so many people use them, Josh. Why do so many people use pop-ups? They're not that effective.
I don't know, Aaron. I don't like them. You don't like them.
Yeah.
All of our viewers watching probably don't like them.
In fact, when I go to a site and if there's a pop-up that happens right away, I exit immediately, so I bounce, and I never go back to that site. It's just too annoying.
Yeah.
It's just too annoying.
It is. So definitely want to avoid that if you want to qualify for this grant.
Oh, yeah.
And then along the process, basically you apply for their Google for Nonprofits program and go through that process and make it through as long as you have, these other qualifications that we mentioned.
Right.
And there's one more component to it, Aaron.
Yeah. So something that everybody should remember is that you need to be a 501, preferably a 501c3. Those are the ones that get approved at the highest rate. You can't be one of the organization types that we mentioned previously, but also when you register, you don't register through Google, you register through one of their partners called TechSoup. So it's a completely different organization that runs through the verification process for Google ad grants accounts. And you really need one thing, you need an address and you need all the regular business type stuff. But then what's also really, really important for you to have is your IRS determination letter that shows that you are in the IRS's eyes, you are deemed a nonprofit. You actually won't be able to get the ad grant account status if you don't have that IRS determination letter. And it has to be the determination letter. It cannot be, I know a lot of organizations have tax exemption codes or tax exemption letters that they're given for sales tax if they're a nonprofit. That won't work. It has to be the original or a copy of the original IRS determination letter that they give you. Yeah, it has to be that. So if you don't have it and you want to open an account, you better go find it, or you're going to have to ask for another one if you can. I don't know if you can, but you need one.
Very, very important component. You need that IRS determination letter.
Yep, exactly. And everyone, I just want to do a quick side note. Josh, I don't know if you're actually watching this, like if you have it up on a browser while we're talking, but we actually have a background going.
No,
yeah.
I can't see that.
Yeah, so right now we're side by side, Josh. I'm gonna describe it to you. We're side by side, and then there is a planet Earth kind of thing going on in the background, and our logo. Huge shout out to Peter Romero with April Afternoon and Bike Shop Agency for really putting this together. I keep looking down. Everybody's like, "What is he looking down for?" I'm looking at my computer. It's in my lap. It just looks good. It just really, really looks good.
Okay, yeah, because we're streaming on YouTube today, right?
Yes, today we're on YouTube. So actually today we're under Phil Van Drunen's YouTube because
so good.
Wow. Yeah, don't we look good, man? We're on Phil's YouTube because we did not set up our live for YouTube on Zova yet. So that's something we have to do. But thank you, huge shout out, Peter Romero. Round of applause. Where is he? I don't know.
Good man, Peter.
Yeah, so it looks pretty good.
Looks really good.
Yeah. Yeah, we looking tasty.
Wow. Come a long way, huh?
I know. If any of you want to see our first episode,
get there.
Yeah. If any of you want to see our first, today is our,
I think our 41st episode.
Today's our 41st episode. If you guys want to go back and see how big of a pile of crap we were before on our first episode, you can go to our Facebook page and take a little gander. I think we barely broke 5 minutes or 10 minutes or something like that.
Oh, it was not even 5 minutes, Aaron. And now we're just hitting 30 minutes.
It wasn't 5 minutes, Josh?
No, it was like 4:50, yeah.
Am I the only one who holds my mug like this and not by the handle?
You're just, I don't get you, man. You're just a rebel, I guess.
Anybody else do that? No?
Okay. You burn your hand. It's hot, right?
Well, yes, that has happened to me before.
So we talked about what it takes to qualify for the grant, but once you qualify for the grant and you have the $10,000 of ad spend per month, $120K a year for the ad spend, you want to make sure that you keep that grant because there's some strict guidelines that you have to follow. Very, very important guidelines that you have to follow to keep the grant and keep your ads running.
Right. There are very strict guidelines. Actually, quick side note, we had a client who we got their ad grants for them, their ad grant account. And we said, okay, we can manage it for you now. And they said, no, just teach us how to manage it and we'll be good. So they spent some money on us teaching them how to manage it. And a couple months goes by, we get an email. I think it was a call, actually. They're like, I don't know what happened. Google shut down our account. We're not able to advertise anymore.
True story.
And I was like, oh, so I went in and they had done all the stuff you're not supposed to do that we're going to go over in just a second. There's certain things that you need to maintain in your account. So I went in and they paid us a bunch of money to fix it. And then I was like, okay, well, it'd be best if we manage it. And they were like, no, just tell us what we did wrong and train us a little more and we've got it. So they paid for some training. And then another couple months later, I get another email that says, oh, God, Google shut down our ad grant account. Can you come save us again? And so we went in and we fixed it. And really, if you're an agency that does ad grants, you can actually call Google and say, hey, we're going to fix it. And they'll pretty much open it up right away, which is, we have kind of some special status. And then the executive director of the nonprofit said, would it just be cheaper if we, instead of calling you every 2 months and paying you a bunch of money to reactivate the account, would it just be cheaper if you managed it every month? And the answer was, yeah, it's about half the price for us to just manage it than for us to go in and save them every time they needed something done.
Go in and save an account so many times before Google's like, all right, we've had enough of this. We're shutting you down. You only get so many chances.
Yep, exactly.
You're pretty flexible, but best not to take that chance.
Right. I mean, Google, the best thing about Google is you can call or email and you get a hold of a real person. They don't really put you through any AI or like robotics that tries to like, oh, press 1 for the, it's like you go and there's always a person who's going to answer the phone or who's going to answer your email. And that person has the power to do anything in your account. So they can reactivate it, they can suspend it, they can do anything based off of what they feel is best. So it's always a really good bet with Google that they're going to be pretty understanding if you really did just mess up on accident. But some of those guidelines that you have to maintain, it's always in 30-day chunks. So you have to, and it's not a rolling 30 days. It's like 30 days, 30 days, 30 days. So they basically go by the month. Sometimes there's 31 days and they'll reline it up like at the end of every month. So it's basically in every calendar month chunks that you have to keep this. You basically, if you're non-compliant within that month, you have a week to fix it after that month. So you will get an email from the ad grant account that says your ad account is non-compliant. You need to change these things, and you have a week to change those things before they suspend your account. But here are some of the things that you have to maintain, which are actually really hard for a lot of people. Unless you're an expert on Google, it's very, very difficult to maintain these kinds of metrics. The first one is a 5% CTR or above. So that's the click-through rate. That's tough sometimes to maintain, depending on what kind of a nonprofit you are. Is that right, Josh?
Yeah, I mean, so many things go into that. And just a quick refresher, what a click-through rate represents is it's the percentage of your impressions that lead to clicks. So if you had 100 impressions and 5 clicks, you have a 5% click-through rate. So 5% of your impressions led to clicks, basically.
Right.
And that's what CTR represents. And the thing about CTR is that so many things play a part in determining your CTR. I mean, essentially, to get a high CTR, you want to be showing ads to relevant traffic, people that would be interested in clicking on your ad.
Yep.
But to do that involves so many steps along the way.
Lots of variables.
What kind of keywords are you using, and what kind of match are you using on those keywords? And, there might be certain location targeting you have to use. And
audience overlays.
Yep. There are so many different factors that play into that. And from what we've seen, it's very, very easy to miss-target your audience. And when you miss-target your audience, your CTR will plummet.
Yep.
Which is not good, because you need to have a 5% CTR, which
at least
at 5% CTR. I mean, you got to know what you're doing to hit that. It's not, you can't make a Google Ads campaign and shoot from the hip and hit a 5% CTR usually.
Right.
You really got to calibrate that targeting to hit that.
Yep.
So,
yep. And just kind of a side note, I noticed Peter, hello, he commented on our YouTube video. If any of you are logged into YouTube and can comment, we'd love to take your comments or questions. I'm checking the chat, so you can go ahead and do that if you need to. Yeah. And the next thing that I'm going to jump into is the quality score of your keywords. It actually has to be a 3 or above. Now, Josh, what are the 3 components of quality score again?
So the 3 components of quality score, let's see if I can.
Expected click-through rate.
So expected click-through rate,
yep.
Landing page experience,
yep.
And let's see, eCTR, landing page experience, and ad rank, I think, is the third one.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure. It's been a little while since I recited all three. The tea time we did
It's been a
for
while.
this was like 6 months ago, I think. So
Yeah, it was a while ago.
putting me on the spot, huh?
I know. Well, okay, so it's expected click-through rate and
Ad relevance, not ad
ad
rank.
relevance. You're right. Ad relevance.
So really,
Ad relevance.
the main point we were talking about with click-through rate, targeting your ads to a relevant audience.
Yep. And the really those two work together, your CTR and your quality score. If you have a high quality score, then your CTR is going to be increased as well, because it has to do with the landing page experience, the relevancy of your ads. And so all of those together will give you a higher click-through rate if you do it correctly. So that's why those work together. So that's why they don't allow less than a 3 quality score. That's what slips people up sometimes, is they just forget to basically take those keywords out or pause them that have less than 3. Now, actually, pro tip, you can set an automation in Google Ads to automatically pause any keywords that have a quality score that is not in compliance with your ad grant account. So there are actually automations that you can set where it will automatically pause keywords and do different things so that you'll pretty much remain compliant forever.
Right. Yeah, those automated rules really help out, because it's hard to keep track of all those keywords. You got multiple ad groups, multiple different targeting strategies.
Yep.
It's easy for keywords to slip under that radar.
Yep.
Right? It's easy. So that's why we use an automated rule to help keep track of that. And
exactly.
shout out to our employee Ronald for actually figuring out how to implement that automatic rule into Google Ads.
Ronald Oyashile, he was the first one at Zova to successfully implement it, because it had just rolled out it was brand new basically when he joined Zova, and so he was just able to get it done.
Yeah. So shout out to Ronald.
It was pretty cool.
And the next part, the next very big component, and this is pretty complicated, is enabling conversion tracking.
Oh man, that can come with a lot of issues if you don't know what you're doing.
Here's the thing. I mean, setting up conversion tracking, it could take an expert 2 minutes, 5 minutes, not that long, right? Yeah. The process can be fairly simple and easy, but it's also very, very easy to mess up. Very easy to mess up.
And I mean, the thing is that you have to do a number of things. You have to be able to create the conversion tag correctly in Google Ads in the first place. So there's a process to do that. You have to create it correctly, selecting the right goals, figuring out if you want a page load or a button click, making sure that it's forwarding the right parameters. So like if you want conversion value, you need to make sure that it's reporting conversion value. If you want conversions, you need to do that. If it's like for one of our clients, it's lead generations for newsletter sign up, then it's got to know that like somebody filled out the form and submitted it successfully. So those are some things that you have to do on the tag end, and then we or a developer has to implement that into the site so that the site will send that information correctly to Google Ads. And Google Ads wants you to have it set up correctly. So sometimes it might be set up incorrectly and it'll still shut down your account even though you have it set up. If it's not set up correctly, Google can tell sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes it can tell and it will say, hey, you need to set this up correctly. And the big thing is that the conversion tag has to be verified. So a lot of times what people do is they'll put the tag on and it's not quite right. And so the data actually isn't coming back from the website. Even though you tell Google Ads that you implemented it, if it's not getting any data back, it'll say that doesn't count. It has to be verified and implemented correctly for Google to count it. for your ad grant account, or for any account for that matter. I mean, you really want conversion tracking just set up across the board.
Definitely. Very easy to mess up. Very easy to mess up. So best to just leave it to the pros to take care of that.
The pros.
So you don't have to worry.
Josh, do we know any pros?
Oh, I'd say we know a few, Aaron.
Okay. Just making sure.
We know a few.
All right.
I think we know a few. So yeah.
Shout out to the 7 people watching right now.
Oh, we have 7 people watching.
You. Yeah, I think one of them's you and one of them's Phil, but yeah.
Cool. Oh, this is on Bill's YouTube channel. Okay.
Phil's, yep.
Cool.
Yeah. Another thing that Google Ad Grants wants you to do, now this isn't mandatory yet, but I'm thinking it's going to be going this way, and it's not just going to be for Google Ad Grant accounts. I think it's going to be for any Google Ads account in the future, and that's two-factor authentication. It's a security protocol. There's been a lot of security breaches, not with us. We've actually had 0 security breaches, but with other companies, with other ad agencies, even with Google itself, they had a security breach at one point in which people were able to hack into accounts and get information. Two-factor authentication is when you log in successfully, it sends a code to something. It could be a code generator on your phone, or it could be a text message, or it could also call you and give you the code, or it can email you. But basically, two-factor authentication is exactly what it is. It's 2. So you put in your username and password successfully, and then whatever your authentication preference is for the next step, it will send a code to that, and then you have to put that code in. And it's randomly generated every time you log in. So it's never going to be the same code. And then that's the two-factor authentication. And it makes it much harder for people to hack in, because if you have Google text you a code every time you log in, and it's different every time, and you're the only one with your phone, yeah, it's a lot more secure that way.
Mm-hmm. And I've experienced too with two-factor authentication. It'll just pull up a message on my phone sometimes, and I can just click OK on it, and then immediately it'll log me in.
Right.
So very seamless process, very easy.
It's really nice. It's really nice.
We highly recommend that, and of course, that's what you're going to have to do for your Google Ad Grant account.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So
our transitions are a little fuzzy today. I think it's just we're not used to this. So usually we're riffing off of each other in person, and it's a lot different when Josh is in Houston and I'm in Greeley.
Right. We're getting used to it, but it'll get better and better as we go along.
Yep, exactly. So Josh, the next thing is Google Ad Grants are just generally complicated to manage.
Yes. I mean, after running through all those different things, how do you even keep on top of that if you're just getting into your Google Ad Grant management?
Right, exactly.
That's a ton to stay on top of.
Our recommendation, which everybody's gonna be like, oh, here we go. Here's their direct sell. But it's true. So many people just have a Google Ad Grant account and it gets shut down. In fact, we even run into organizations that they say, oh, you manage Google Ad Grant accounts. We had one like 5 years ago, but we could never figure out how to do it, so we just let it lapse. So it is very complicated unless you're on top of it all the time. And usually even a marketing director of a nonprofit just doesn't have the time to keep on top of it because they don't have the skill set to make it easier quick. So we recommend finding an agency that regularly runs Google Ad Grant clients. We are one of those agencies. We are kind of in the middle as far as pricing goes. We're $500 a month to manage Google Ad Grant. And then, you get free ad spend and free conversions. So most of the time you're going to be breaking even, at least.
$500 a month, or you're getting up to $10,000 free advertising a month.
Yep.
So the cost benefit is generally in your favor, right?
Right.
If you're looking into that. I mean, there's so many benefits: the free ad spend, traffic to your website. If you're spending, right, because it's free ad spend, $1 a click, you're getting 10,000 clicks a month to your website, you're getting 5% of those clicks converting, you're getting 500 conversions a month, right? So
And that
think
could be
about kind of
lead
value that.
signups or that could be, and that could be anything.
Memberships, can generate a lot of value. You're getting awareness in search results. Extra conversions and conversion value, an increase in market share as well, and really extensive reach to customers all over the world.
Right. The biggest thing that I see with nonprofits is they're always telling me our biggest problem is that people don't know we exist. It's like one of their biggest problems, because nonprofits really rely on donor dollars, maybe a gift shop, admission to their museum. They rely on people knowing that they exist to actually exist. And so Google Ads is a great way for when people are searching for something. If you're a museum, for example, Colorado Mountain Railroad Museum is one of our clients in Greeley, Colorado. A lot of people don't know about them. They are the largest HO scale model railroad in the entire world. In fact, they have people come from all over the world just to see the layout here in Greeley, Colorado. People fly in from China, people fly in from Australia, people fly in from Japan, UK, everywhere in the world. People are coming to Greeley, Colorado for that specifically. And the crazy part is not a lot of people know about it in Greeley, Colorado. So actually our ads that we run, they're just US based, because there are some issues sometimes with going outside of the US with your Google Ad Grant if you're based in the US. So US based ads, but we have increased their reach. I haven't calculated it recently, but by hundreds of percents in their awareness. So they've actually seen an uptick in people calling and saying, hey, I'm coming from California and I'm actually on my way to Texas, but I'm going to stop in Greeley to see this. When are you open? Things like that. So they are seeing an uptick in actual revenue, in actual actions in their museum, because people are now finding them online because of the Google Ads.
Yeah, and that's just incredible. What kind of impact it's had. And really, if you're a qualifying nonprofit, you should be taking advantage of this, that Google's offering. I mean, $10,000 a month for free. Yeah, take advantage of it. And like Aaron said, there's a lot of agencies that will offer this management. We recommend outsourcing this to them. We do this. We have a lot of experience in this, so we can perform at a high level. So if you're interested in us or working with us, then feel free to reach out, and we'd be happy to talk about it. Or if you know anybody, then
and Google actually has a list of agencies that are partnered with them for Google Ad Grant specifically. So they're Google Ad Grant partners that you can look on Google's registry. So if you're like, let's say you're in Texas and you're like, well, Zova's in Colorado, I want somebody local, you can go to that registry and you can find businesses that are closest to you that have the Google Ad Grant partner badge from Google.
Yeah, there's a full list of very qualified businesses that can manage that.
If you get on that list, like anybody on that list is going to be good. Pretty much guaranteed. I mean, it's very rigorous to get that badge. There's a lot of hoops to jump through.
Very rigorous, yeah.
So, anybody on that list is perfectly fine.
Yeah. Well, if you think you might qualify, check it out. And remember, don't do it yourself if you don't have experience in Google Ads.
Exactly. Now, I want to go just quickly on another topic, Josh, because we have 7 people watching now. So we're going to do a quick Josh update. I know Josh kind of said how he was doing at the beginning of the video. Everybody just wants to check in with you, man. Like the number of how's Josh doing questions I get every single day is crazy. I mean, I probably get 20 to 30 on average a day. Different people asking me how you're doing.
20 to 30. Holy cow.
Yeah, it's a lot of people. So, I mean, let us know how you're doing, man. Where are you at? What's going on? We're there with you virtually. We're right by your side.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah, I'll do a quick update how I'm doing. Well, Doing good. They've been keeping me busy down here. Been at the hospital every day since I came down. Got appointments really all day, every day. They like to move very quickly, which is a great thing. I like moving fast.
Moving
And just
fast
want
is
to get this
important, especially with
exactly.
this,
Want to get it done as soon as possible. So I'm still doing all the outpatient stuff. Of course, I'm going to be outpatient for a few more weeks. So looking forward to getting through that. Just been getting ready for the stem cell collection. So they're going to be collecting my stem cells next week. So there's a lot of things you have to do to work up to that. It's quite a big process, but I'm moving through it on pace. And yeah, everything is on schedule right now, and I'm feeling good.
Perfect. That's awesome.
Everything I've been doing hasn't really been giving me any side effects, which is great. So feeling good and happy that I can still be spreading the good word on the tea times.
The tea times, that's awesome, man. They treating you good over at MD Anderson? They doing a good job?
Yeah, they're treating me good. Yeah, but I'm doing well. Yeah, things are moving along.
Sweet. I know everybody kind of want. Like I said, I get so many questions about updates on how you're doing. So just for everybody to know, I'm actually on the phone with Josh probably for a couple of hours every day, or on a video chat every day, a couple hours.
It was a few hours yesterday.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I called you when I was just leaving Greeley, and then we hung up when I was getting into Aurora. So it was like an hour and some odd minutes. Yeah. Yep. For that one call, but we call multiple times a day. So anyway, Josh, I'm so glad you could join us today. And we're going to try, just for all of our viewers out there, we're going to try and get Josh to be present at our tea times for as many as we possibly can. There might be a few that he might need to miss. We're not sure. It all depends on how he's feeling. But he's in good spirits right now, and yeah.
There will be a few eventually. There will be probably at least two that I'll miss, but try not to miss any more than that.
Right. Okay. Cool. So I'm gonna have to plan on having a guest or something in on those days. I'm so awkward by myself.
Yeah, it's a duo theme for the show, Right. We haven't had a single episode where it's just been one person.
We did
actually. You know what? There was one. It was the one you did.
Yep.
In your office.
Yep. That's the one. That's the one that I did. So, and I told our origin story. So that was fun. Maybe I could tell another story about us. That'd be cool.
That'd be cool. Yeah.
All right. Well, that concludes another marketing tip tea time at 222 with ya boys, Josh and Aaron.
Hey boys from Zova.
Live from Houston and Greeley.
Yeah.
We will see all of you next Friday at 222 for another marketing tip tea time at 222. Until then, we hope you have a fantastic week. I'm Aaron.
I'm Josh.
Nostravi. Clink.
Cheers.